I'm Nataley Nagy. I'm the Executive Director of the Kelowna Art Gallery. I've been the director here since 2010, and I have the pleasure to speak to you a little bit about the gallery's permanent collection. Public art galleries in Canada have been collecting art as part of their mandate for hundreds of years. Our collection started about 40 years ago here in Kelowna, when the gallery was first operating out of the Historical Museum and part of the Historical Museum Society. We have since 20 years and growing ago had the pleasure of moving into our own function-built building, and here you get to see the proper storage area of our permanent collection. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the permanent collection and what it means for an art gallery to have a collection. Kelowna's collection has about 1,000 pieces in it. Most are acquired by donation, either from an artist or a third party. And more recently, we have been purchasing works of art to augment those that have been donated to us over the years. We collect mainly 20th and 21st century Canadian art. We have very little historical art. We are working towards balancing the collection to find gaps where we feel that art history, Canadian art history, may be missing in our collection. We are very interested more recently in filling gaps for artists that are underrepresented in collections across the country. And in that case, we are actively seeking out works or purchasing works of art for the collection. Part of the work here at the Kelowna Art Gallery that happens behind the scenes, of course, is caring for all these works of art. With over 1,000 available to view online, we also have to very carefully store them and care for them in climate-controlled conditions, which again you can see we are in at the moment. We also are what Canadian government considers a Class A facility, which then enables us to provide tax credit to donors who give us and gift us works of art for our collection. We are very particular about finding works that in some way relate to our environment or to the Okanagan, or perhaps social issues and the Okanagan. Regional subjects we're not restricted to regional subjects, but we certainly spend time deciding whether certain works of art really would fulfill a mandate for a public art gallery that resides in the interior of British Columbia. We work closely with our colleagues to make sure that there is an overlap in terms of collecting, because of course we can borrow from colleagues and other colleagues borrow from us. Our work appears not only in our own exhibitions such as Rise Fall, but we lend works out to a number of different institutions to augment exhibitions that they may be having. So we do loans to other institutions. We offer images and photography of our collection for purposes of other institutions making catalogs, and we generally act as a resource for Canadian art in Canada. One of the aspects of our collection is that it does represent many different mediums. However, our focus appears to be works on paper and works on canvas. We have some sculpture, but really it isn't one of our strongest suits, insofar as sculpture requires a tremendous amount of storage space, which we don't have access to at the moment. We do have our beautiful sculpture, gold, silver, and lead outside, as well as Skagway, which was donated to us by Tony Only. And so we do have some sculpture, but we hope to expand that area in the future. One of the interesting things about collecting and public art galleries collection is not only how they are acquired, by whom they are gifted or if they're purchased, but the stories behind how people got the works in the first place. And they comprise a whole range of different stories. I found it in my grandmother's attic, or it belonged to a friend of mine, all the way up to artists that were collecting other artists and wanted to gift them to a safe and a sound home. One of our attempts, our conditions, is to try and show work within 5 years of acquiring it. So the exhibition Rise Fall is a very good example of how we are able to live up to the commitment that we made both to the donors and the artists, that they wouldn't languish in a vault forever, amen, but that in a small regional gallery like ours, we actually have the capacity to exhibit the work that we own. Well, as executive director, I work with the board to have a vision of the institution, which of course includes a permanent collection. However, we work as a team to identify works that would suit the existing collection. We use that to purchase art, but also when we're considering donations. My role would be to overall know what we have in the collection and what might augment it, and what might not. We are judicious in what we accept for donations and obviously for purchase because of lack of funds and limited space. But we will never pass up a beautiful new acquisition and encourage you to give us a call or send us a photo, an email of your special treasure, and perhaps it belongs in the Kelowna Art Gallery collection.